We'll start with our jump to front support mount. Lift the good leg, turn around the beam, sit in a straddle, cast to squat. Show position, elevate the arms, stand, and show. Point the good foot forward, step the bad foot to the front, pivot turn, and show. The walking steps shown here will be modified with poses unique to each gymnast. Step together, show jump position, and stretch jump. Show. Walking steps forward, and prepare. Lower into the mountain climber position, tip into the lever. Standing straight up at the end. Show. Walking steps to the end of the balance beam. Tuck jump dismount. Our advanced bronze will start with the same mount. Front support, lift the leg over, cast to squat. Show, stretch, and stand. If competing a side handstand dismount, you'll start facing the long end of the beam. Here, the stretch jump is replaced with a tuck jump. Bronze team members have the option to compete a handstand in an L hold, 3/4, or vertical. An L hold is shown. The pivot turn remains the same. In this routine, the jump dismount will be replaced with a side handstand. Mountain climber, lever in, continue holding the beam for finish.
So for bronze, we require the cast back up to the squat position. We're going to start the same way that copper does. Thumbs together, fingers over the edge of the balance beam. Press up to that high front support. Lift the leg up and over the beam. When you get to here, you want to hold your legs to the front. We don't want them swinging back and forth. As little movement as possible. So we're going to hold them here, one big cast. And then you're going to tuck them in, go back to your show, and then arms up above before we stand. For the pivot turn, you're going to start with your good foot pointed out to the front. Arms are down right by the side. You'll step, bring the back leg forward. Now I'm standing with my bad foot to the front. Then pivot, then lower the heels and the arms to show. The reason that we start with our bad foot in the front when we turn is so that we turn over our good shoulder. That way, when we turn it into a regular turn on one foot, we're still turning in the same direction. While we are in practice, we're going to start with the good foot pointed. Step to releve. Hold our body shape. Count 1, 2, pivot, hold, 1, 2, then show. When we get to competition, you don't have to hold for 2 seconds on either side, but we will always hold in practice.
For the lever, we're going to start in our mountain climber.
Lift the foot to the back. As we tip, let the back leg lead you down. As you come back up, pull your weight from your hands instead. So the momentum going down is going to come from the back foot. The momentum coming up will come from your hands. This is just a balancing skill. It's to show control on the beam. And then it's a progression into later skills when we're going to connect series and stuff. Start in my mountain climber position. Arms are stretched tall. Point the foot to the back. Tip down forward, touch the beam. Stand back up. Bronze can compete a lever. Our advanced bronze is allowed to compete a handstand. You are not required to close the legs for bronze, so you can do an L hold. We're going to start the exact same way that you start a lever in our mountain climber. Tip your weight to the front. And all we're going to do is point the leg off the bottom. All right, now bronze is allowed to go to a handstand. Again, there's no angle requirement. It does start the same way as the rest of your skills. So we're going to start in our mountain climber. Tip. And you can go 3/4 hand. Whoop, and come back up. Obviously, if you're allowed to do a 3/4, you can go all the way up. So if you can balance, if you're with our second year bronze or our advanced bronze group, start in that mountain climber. Tip, we're going to let the weight come all the way up to vertical. Ooh. That felt a little short. Mountain climber. Tip forward, up to vertical. straight up at the end.
In addition to body shape and general form, the judges are looking for the ankles to close together at the height of the skill.
All right, so our advanced bronze group as well as our silvers have the option of doing a side handstand dismount. We're going to start in the same way that we started with our lever. So we're going to mountain climber, nice stretch tall, weight is towards the back. We're going to tip and lever into the skill, hit the handstand over the top, and drop down. When you drop, you're going to bend at the shoulder, not at the hip. I'm going to show you from the side. All right, so common mistakes in the side handstand are going to be shoulder angle and an arch in your back. When we kick up,
if your shoulder angle is closed or you're loose through your midsection, you're going to lose points here regardless of how long you can hold the handstand.
Also, if you kick your legs around to the side, you're not going to be able to hit vertical. Vertical is not required for every single level. It is obviously easier to hold a handstand in vertical, and it's easier to cut the skill off at the right time so that you don't end up going past your mark, but you're not required to be in complete vertical. However, if you throw your feet way around to the side, you have almost no hope of being in the correct body shape. So assuming you hit that nice pretty handstand on the top, I'll show you the mistakes for the exit. So, oh, no, I'm not. So from here, what you don't want to do is pike down to the front. You also don't want to let go of the beam. You need to nice and tight. All right, so we're going to do the correct exit. Tip up, and you're going to bend from the shoulder position, okay? Nice and tight. You want to be in a hollow body.